And you guys thought you got rid of me, huh? I see you guys yawning in here, just waiting around. Apparently my voice banana, I had to reboot voice meter banana. It was acting funny. So, yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit about Profit Trailer, too, a little bit. What's up, Kurt? Yeah, Whiskey Tango. Never sell a coin at a loss, especially right now. And that's a big part of what we're going to talk about tonight. Yeah, I came back down here tonight and just everything was acting wonky. It looks like my computer had rebooted itself. That's the one thing I hate about Windows is it like kind of anytime there's an update, it forces you to, it just messes up your whole damn machine. Sure, blame the tech and not the operator. Hey, man, I wasn't even down here. There must be a ghost down here playing video games then. What's the deal with the Asian market? Well, I'll tell you. A lot. Thank you, Zahid Khan. Dead Country, what's up, Jeff? Patron himself. All right, so I'll go ahead and start talking. I don't expect a lot of people pumping this up tonight. I don't know why. I never really do. I mean, when I see like 700 people or more in here, I kind of like, wow, it's crazy. What up? What up? What's your number 2 pick for 2018? I'd have to think about that one because there's a lot going on. All right, so let's see what's happening. So just a quick look at the market. I mean, everything's still kind of taking little shits. This is like a diarrhea market right now, right? I mean, it's just, you know, Bitcoin shot up to 12 grand. Now it's back down to 11. I mean, but this is the one thing that I wanted to start off the night with. I wanted to show everybody this article, and there's a bunch of them out there, but I was just reading around, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a video on this, because I don't know how many of you guys read. In the sense that, like, that sounded terrible. I kind of meant it, kind of a joke, but, like, I spend a lot of time reading a lot of random shit, and so you know, based off a lot of the comments and a lot of the stuff that I see, it looks like a lot of you guys don't just sit around for hours reading this stuff, and you tune into my channel to learn about what's going on. That's the whole point of me doing this. So I'm going to move this over here so I can actually see you guys talking. So anyway, Bitcoin dip, why the Lunar New Year is a good thing. So basically what this whole article is going to be saying, a boom will happen, people just relax. Yeah. So, and it's not even a FUD issue. This is basically an annual cycle, right? So if you look at this here, this is basically showing, this is January, 24 days before the Asian New Year. This is back in 2014, 24 days before the Asian New Year, 2015. You know, basically it's the same cycle pretty much every year. And a lot of this stuff doesn't, basically what it's saying is, and everything that I've been reading, is not to expect a whole hell of a lot of a comeback until mid-February. So we've got a couple weeks. Basically what's happening is that Chinese New Year, Asian New Year, everybody cashes out. They sell their altcoins into Bitcoin, and then they cash out their Bitcoin and make bank deposits. So they're taking their profits, they're taking their cash, and apparently it's like the biggest time of the entire year for travel, family, get-togethers, gift giving, all kinds of stuff. So they're basically all spending their profits. You know, they're just cashing everything out, and they do this every year. So it's not, you know, anything new. And it's good because it creates a market for the rest of us to buy into, knowing that come mid-February, things are going to start going back up. And I've shown some charts before, in previous videos. So yeah, I mean, don't freak out. But you know, some of you guys I know that a lot of you guys bought Profit Trailer and Profit Feeder this week because I mean, the sales were crazy. I think I had close to 450 each. So I know a lot of you guys are buying this up, which is good because you better buy it now while the price is low. By price being low, I mean, you know, Bitcoin being less. Because when things start coming back, you guys are going to be paying a lot more for profit trailer and profit feeder because it's all, you know, it's like 0.02, 0.03 Bitcoin. And see what's happening, you know, because I'm in the same situation. So I told you guys a few days ago that I was basically going to set up the bot and just let it run, and I have, and I've been sitting on like four heavy bags, like four tier bags, and because what's happening is all these alts keep dropping, so there's not, it's like, you know, if you look at, and a lot of people I saw in the Murder of Crows, the Telegram channel, and believe it or not, I'm on there a lot watching you guys. And it's not that I ignore all of you. There's just so many people talking all the time. It's like, wow. I almost wish I had a way of kind of breaking up that one Telegram channel into multiple channels, just to keep things more focused, because sometimes when it's really busy in there, it's just crazy. Like there's a lot of good stuff going on. And I, you know, I've actually promoted like 9 people to kind of a moderator status to keep all the pump and dumpers out and to keep the, like I always say, if you're not helping, you're hurting. So, you know, and that's kind of the mantra I preach to my moderators. Like, if you're not helpful in the community, then you're hurting the community. So you got to go. That's all there is to it. I don't allow any trolling. I don't allow any harassment. I don't allow any douchebaggery. I don't allow any of that stuff in any of my communities. So, So yeah, you know, if you look at everything, you know, the one thing that I noticed, Neo is just doing gangbusters. So, and it's funny because it makes sense with Neo basically being like the Chinese Ethereum. Some of these guys, they're taking their profits and they're, you know, they're like, well, I'm going to get into Neo before my neighbors get back into the market, and it goes up even more. So that's that. But if you look, it's just everything's down across the board, and it continues to trickle down, which is great because, I mean, it's just when everything comes back, it's going to shoot up, and then we have the whole rest of the year for gains. I absolutely do expect to see Bitcoin back at $25,000 a coin soon. Probably March, I'm guessing. It might take that long, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I can see this hitting 15 grand pretty quick. I mean, by the end of February is my guess, just based off of everything that I'm seeing. That's what I would assume. So, but Neo's kicking ass, man. I mean, if I look at the last 24 hours, gas is at $70. I mean, this is nuts. This is up 35%, and this isn't a pump and dump, folks. This is just everybody. I mean, gas is for those of you that aren't familiar with Neo is basically the Chinese version of Ethereum, and when you stake it in a Neo wallet, it creates gas passively, which is it's you know, what's used to transfer Neo from one place to another, and that's crazy. Dent, you know, up 23% over the past 24 hours. It was up to, what was it today? It was a lot higher than that. I think it hit like 8 cents this afternoon. So apparently that got pumped pretty hard today. And it's back down to 4. I even thought, like, man, I should just sell it, because I knew it was a pump, and I was like, oh, I could just sell it at like 8 cents and then buy it back when it comes down to like 3. But I just, you know, then I'm just paying more capital gains tax on it. Let's see what you guys are talking about here in chat real quick. Creates gas passively. Yes, kind of like me. You better watch yourself. It is a slow build up. It is, but it's all going to come back. Oh, and that was the point I was making. As far as like profit feeder, profit trailer, you know, there's just not a whole hell of a lot of activity. And I actually took my list of all the coins that I do not want profit trailer to buy, and I gave it to the guys at Profit Feeder, and then they basically just kind of made it standard, like just to try and keep away. So like all the bags I'm holding right now are bags I don't mind having. So it doesn't bother me one bit. And if you're using the settings I gave you, you're in a similar boat. Like none of the bags you have should be shit coins. And that was why I did that, because I don't mind holding like a worthwhile coin for a while, knowing that it's probably going to spike up. But I did finally just sell one of the tier 4 bags that I had. I only made I only made 1.5% in profit on it, which is kind of rare. When I have like a 4-tier bag, typically I make like 20% profit on it. VPS for Profit Trailer. Is there another VPS service that's good for it? As far as the new feeder settings, I will put out new feeder settings when when the market has come back a bit and I can truly test it. Because the settings, everything that I'm using right now from the new test, it's not doing much, to be honest, because there's nothing to work with. Everything's fucking red. Like there's just not, it doesn't matter what you buy right now, you're going to get a bag, basically. There's no way around that. If a coin goes up even a hair because a bunch of people thought, well, I'm just going to buy into this right now, the bot's going to buy it. The bot's going to buy it on its way up, and then it's just going to go right back down. And then you're going to be left with bags. There's nothing you can do about it. Basically, the best advice I would, and you know what, I'm not giving advice. The best thing I would say is, look, if you're buying Profit Trailer, Profit Feeder now, it's probably a good idea to pick it up while Bitcoin is very low, and just sit on it and just hold it and put it to work, set it and forget it. Don't even look at it probably for a week or two, because until the market starts to come back on a universal scale, it's not going to do very much. Like the bot is not a magic trophy, a magic lamp. It doesn't just create money out of thin air. It has to have proper market conditions for it to work. And just to let everybody know, I debated on doing a video. So everything has been getting better with me, but apparently I am suffering some really hard like testosterone withdrawals. Because I haven't had a testosterone shot in like 3 weeks now. In the past like 3-4 days, I've just been getting horrible headaches, fatigue, taking a nap in the middle of the afternoon, like hard, sleeping 7 to 8 straight hours at night, taking a nap in the afternoon as though I hadn't slept at all. It's just been hitting me, man. And these headaches have just been kicking my ass. And I feel all this pressure in my head constantly. It has not been fun, but my wife was looking it all up tonight. My wife is like my household doctor, because half of her family are all doctors, and so she's texting everybody and looking stuff up, and but it's definitely not been fun, I will tell you that. Just getting used to not having that testosterone. It's crazy how different I feel. Yeah, Nate, I tell you what, man, when I apparently I'm supposed to be real depressed right now too, which I'm not really depressed. I feel like there's so much great stuff happening in my life right now. I can't be depressed. I just feel like hell. I just don't feel good, and I don't have energy. Everything that I do makes my head throb, even talking. Like right now I'm okay, but I can feel it like right back here, just kind of pulsing a little bit, just waiting to blow up. So I can't get too passionate about anything tonight, or I'll probably end up crying. It gets pretty bad. Dustin Sigmund, ETA on new updated PT settings. Yeah, just like I said. I mean, just sit tight for a week, and if you just came into the video, just play it from the beginning, because I just talked about a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I'm taking good care of myself. I am. I mean, I'm losing weight. Like all the side effects, I'm probably losing muscle. But it's, yeah, thank you, Everything Gutter. Everything Gutter is praying for me. Sorry, but that's just funny. But I do appreciate it. I'm fine. It's just like my breathing because of my red blood cells. It's so funny because this has been the most sickly time I've ever had probably in my entire life. Like since I had mono as a kid from drinking a Pepsi after my sick cousin. Like, I never get sick. I don't even get colds. The worst I get allergies in my eyes. My eyes will burn from just, I don't know, dust or whatever it is. So, and it's It's just from the testosterone. I mean, it's like we've read so many articles and everything that's happening. Apparently, it's huge. Like with bodybuilders, they go through the same shit, and they just get on a regimen where they donate blood, they get their double red cell count down, they get another testosterone injection. I just don't want to deal with any of that shit. So I'm actually focusing on the more natural side. I'm gonna once I'm through this kind of withdrawal scenario. I'm going to be hitting the gym. I think I'm going to start hitting that pretty hard and focusing on my diet. And if you guys are all interested, I'll share some of my diet stuff and maybe I'll start getting buff in front of you guys. I don't know. We'll see. I've never been of the mentality. Like, it's really difficult for me to just stand there, look in a mirror, and lift weights. It's just so not my thing. It's one of the big reasons I got into mixed martial arts. I'd rather fight. Like, I like to be active. I don't like standing there like, yeah, pump it. Oh yeah, feel the burn. Like, I'm not about that shit. It's that stuff. Just I told my wife, like, I'm gonna get a treadmill with a desk on it. That way I can wake up in the morning, I get on the treadmill, and I'll just do an hour on there while I'm going through emails, and that'll start my day. And then maybe in the afternoon I'll go hit the gym and I'll do some stuff there. But yeah. So my Twitter handle, it's just Jason Appleton. Hey Crow, much love from South Africa. Rough Subset, what's up, man? I like South Africa. That sounds pretty. You know how I know about South Africa? From Lethal Weapon. That's all I really know about South Africa. Tell your wife to pick up reishi mushrooms and Tangkat Alley. All right, I will copy this and Google search it for later. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at some of the natural stuff. What else? There was something else that I wanted to touch on. Huddy ho. Where is... I don't know what the hell. I was looking at some other stuff, but I guess I lost it. Alright, well. What did I say about shrooms? Going through the test flu. Yeah, pretty much. Is that what they call it? You a bodybuilder, J-Dot? Dataless wallet. Man, I was so I have been emailing back and forth a little bit with some of the guys from Cardano. I don't know what it is. I just love that coin. You know, one of the reasons I feel like I love the coin, maybe it's more of a personal thing than a straight financial thing. I just love the philosophy behind it, and I love how everything is named. I love, like I told you guys, like when I was a kid, I really wanted to go to MIT. Like, I thought I was going to be the smartest man in the world. And then, you know, I ended up going to like a really hood school, and I had to like kind of, I don't know, change. And I got less book smart, more street smart. And so it just, I'm in kind of like a line down the middle where, you know, and it's like you kind of hide how smart you are sometimes, just so that you fit in, you blend in, and you're less assuming. You're more unassuming. But hey Crow, you have a prospectus for the Crow Fund, or could you talk a bit about your investment plans with the fund? I'm interested with just like a bit of info. Honestly, crypto disposition, I'm almost at 1,000 people already, and I think I'm cutting it at 1,000. Because I think there are probably 50 more people a day signing up on the Patreon to get into the fund. But I mean, to break it down, and I'll reopen it, but I want to get the first 1,000 people onboarded first, because there's going to be a lot of work associated with onboarding everybody, getting everybody into the management software for compliance, and there's so much to it. And I'm actually debating, because my Patreon is doing so well and the memberships are growing, I'm likely going to be getting an office and hiring a couple of people. I even posted on my Facebook page to try and find some local people that want to work for me. So you know, and yes, Steve, I do. I actually got a So Clean. Somebody actually sent me a So Clean for my CPAP. But that's been great. My CPAP is doing really well. So shit, what was I saying? I lose track so much when I look at chat. I don't remember what the hell I was saying, folks, honestly. Maybe I'll scroll up. Unless one of you guys wants to remind me what the hell I was just talking about. Play dumb. I kind of did to an extent. Oh, that's right, the fund. So basically how the fund works, it's very simple. When everybody joins a monthly membership, right? So it's a monthly membership based on what investment tier you're in. So it's like 1,000 to, I think, 25,000, then from 25 to 100,000, and then 100,000 and up. And so your monthly membership, basically you have to maintain your membership for the year. It's a 1-year lockup on funds. And it's you have your membership, and then you pay 2% of your initial capital investment, and then 20% of the profit after the first year. And then at that point, you can either reinvest, and we start a new cycle based on your gains. That's when we can make changes. And everybody, it's not a fund in the sense that like originally I called it a hedge fund. It's really not a hedge fund. It's an investment fund, and it's a partnership. And I'm going to go over more detail when I actually make announcements for things. But it's really kind of confusing. And there are still some things that I don't even fully understand because I'm reading through. I've had so many agreements and filings and things sent to me from my lawyer. And I'm like just reading through it. Some of the stuff is long. I mean, it's long. And so I have to. He is swearing to me. For those of you that are patrons now, and you're just waiting for me, he sent me the management agreement tonight, and he's promised me that tomorrow by end of day I'll have everything to launch this thing. At which point I still have work to do. So basically, I'm planning on launching the fund officially on February 5th. And to be quite honest with all of you guys, there's like 500, almost 600 of you in here. If you're not in now, you're probably not going to get in at this point, because it's very likely by the end of the night it'll be full. And then once that's all done, then I start the onboarding process. I'm getting everybody's agreements. I get everybody situated, everybody added to the system. And the way the investment works is if you invest 50 grand, if you invest $5,000, if you invest 1,000, I'm basically breaking up your total investment budget into, like, depending on how much of a budget you have. Typically, with a larger budget, I like to put 1 to 2 Ethereum in each ICO based off of how much you have. If you only have $1,000, then I'm probably going to break that into maybe 4 ICOs for investors. So if you have $1,000, I put it into 4 ICOs, and then we see what happens, and that's how it is. And once your budget is used up, then it's invested, then it's a sit and wait game. So the more you have to work with, the easier it is to get into some really good positions that some gains are going to be bigger than others, so forth and so on. So that's basically how it works. It's not going to be set up like, well, everybody's resources are put into one big pool, and then everybody gets a certain fraction or a percentage of the overall growth. That's not how this is structured. It's basically being structured the same way I was starting to do things before I lawyered up and started getting compliant and getting real legal about things. Because my initial thought was, well, I'm really good at this. I'm doing really well for all these other people who are like friends. Maybe I can open this up to the public and start doing the same thing, and had a really good system. And my lawyer said, yeah, everything you're doing is great. You just can't buy securities because you're not licensed to buy securities. So, hey, you start this fund, we file it. I mean, we have filings in Colorado, filings in Wyoming. He's doing a really good job just getting everything set up, but there's still some things that I'm learning. And then once I know, but so what happens is once I get these filings, and the agreements, and they're all done, and I don't need any more changes, because there have been a few things I'm like, well, we need to change this and we need to change that. Then I'm going to integrate that into the sign up process. So you're basically going to, when you join or I send you the link, you're going to go to an agreement that's probably going to be 50 pages long, and you're going to have to initial a bunch of stuff and then digitally sign at the end. And then at that point, you'll get the address where you'll be able to send funds. Then you have to send, you're going to fill out another quick form basically saying, this is my name, this is my contact information, I just sent this much Ethereum, here's how much I sent, here's my transaction code. Then I confirm it, I say you're confirmed, and then you sit back and just wait. That's basically how it's going to work. All right. Enough of that, because I don't need any more investors right now, to be honest. At this point, it's just more work. So I will say, though, that after this first 1,000 people, I'm probably going to get rid of the $1,000, like the 1,000 to 5,000 tier. I have intentionally kept it open up to this point because I've been building all of this because of so many of you who need it. Honestly, like I get what it's like, and I see that the opportunity, and I don't want to count anybody out. If I don't cut the $1,000 tier completely, then it'll be because I hired somebody who's going to handle all that onboarding. I mean, that's pretty much it, which I very well could do, but that's pretty much it. What's good, Crow? Have you checked out 47 ICO? Is 47? You're talking about the bank, I assume. Yes, I have. They've actually approached me, wanting to pay me to do a review on them. To be real honest with you, and I've been debating, because I'll be honest, I kind of like it. Their community's pretty good, and but I'm not 100% on it. I don't know if I want to talk about it. I haven't looked too deep into it. I was reading around. I spent about 45 minutes on it tonight when they emailed me, and so I'm just getting more information right now. So I'm not saying that it's great. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying anything yet. And Tyson Larson, I will never make any promises on return on investment ever. I just, $5 grand, 10 grand, 100 grand, doesn't matter. I have a great track record. That's all I can really tell you. I could, like I always say in all my videos, man, anybody that promises you any kind of return whatsoever on an investment in the crypto market's just trying to take advantage of you. So I'm not going to play into that. But yeah, there are actually two ICOs that I have been looking at recently that I may very well be doing paid reviews on. One of them actually has seen some of my videos where I've talked about them, and they said, "Why don't you just do a full-blown video, and we're happy to compensate you for it." And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I will. I'm actually pumped about this one, big time, and I've talked about it quite a few times. So. And unfortunately for you guys, if I do it, I'm keeping every one of these coins. And it's also in the financial market. Did you hear from Play to Live peeps about complying with ICO for your coin giveaway? Yes, I did, actually. They emailed me and they thanked me for not distributing tokens before their ICO is complete. So I'm going to honor their wishes, and I'm not going to distribute the coins until their ICO is complete. But I have been seeing that a lot of people are participating in that and having fun with it. And like I was going through Twitter and I was seeing all that. I will, when their ICO is done, I'm going to come back to that video and go back to the comments, and I'm just going to randomly start sending Play to Live tokens. Jason, what is your gut feeling where Wan Chain will wind up on an exchange? I really don't know. I'll be real honest with you. The past couple weeks, I've been spending time researching coins that I really like and kind of keeping an eye on coins I've already talked to you guys about, and so forth and so on. I know Wan Chain's done pretty well, but I don't know. It's one of those coins that so it's not on anything yet. So yeah, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Wan Chain, to be real honest with you. So I don't even want to speculate on that. When will you help us with the settings for Profit Trailer? Dude, Brightstar1, where have you been? I've put out so much stuff for Profit Trailer. Like I said, hopefully if any of you guys came in late to this video, just watch it from the beginning, because I talk about Profit Trailer. Profit Trailer's not doing a whole hell of a lot for anybody or anything right now. It's just not. It's not that it doesn't work. It's not that it's not fantastic. It's just the market is shit. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Everything is going down. Everything has been down. It'll go up and come back down. I mean, there's just not a lot you can do. So you just have to kind of sit on it and let the bot. It's going to collect bags. It'll sell the bags off. It's just going to be really slow, and it doesn't matter really what you're doing with it. It's just how it's going to be right now until everything starts to come back. What address do we share to redeem just the ETH wallet address? If you're talking about the Play to Live tokens, yeah, it's an ERC20 token. So you'll just put your like your Mu wallet or your Ether wallet or whatever. Do I think Coinbase is going to die because of Robinhood? You know, I'm going to be real honest with you about Robinhood or Robinhood, Coinbase and Robinhood. You've got Robinhood that wants to compete now. You've got Ethos that's going to be competitive, and there are going to be more. One of the ICOs, actually, I don't even think it's an ICO anymore. It's not. I think it's out of ICO, but they still want me to review it and talk about it. They're going to be competing. I think Coinbase has been forced on everybody for so long and has been the only real option, especially in America, and that's why their fees are high and so forth and so on. But to their credit, they have the GDAX exchange. So if you don't want to pay the fees and you don't want to just be able to pump in a credit card and make an automatic purchase of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash, and you want to put in a little extra work and spend 2 minutes transferring everything over to GDAX and make your trades that way for like as little as 0 fees. But I still think with it being the only option up to this point, I think a lot of people are looking to break away from Coinbase. Now, here's the thing about Coinbase, though. I feel safe there. Like, I don't have a problem paying a little fee to Coinbase to get what I want done. And I mean, to me, they've been good to me. I needed to increase my withdrawal amount, my withdrawal limit, because I was capped at like 10,000 a day. I needed it to be at 50. They did it in 24 hours. But I'm reading around, and a lot of people are complaining, like, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, they haven't done this, they haven't done that. I think a part of it probably is dictated by where you live, where you are, to be honest with you. But I mean, I've had no problems with Coinbase personally, but I do think they're going to take a big hit when this other stuff starts to go. T-shirts, site for purchase. You can just click the merchandise link at jasonappleton.com and everything's there. Yeah, because I'm wearing it right now. Yeah, I'm wearing this 2 nights in a row. All right, let's see. Did you get into GBTC split? Oh, shit. I forgot all about that. Hold up. Wait a minute, because I forgot all about it. Oh, shit. Hold up. Stock twits. GBTC. Where are you at? Oh, I'm not logged in. Oh boy, I forgot all about the split. Yes, I am in GBTC. I bought in at like 850 and it just split like 91 to 1. Oh man. So yes, I am in this. I do have this. Oh. So anyway, yeah, and StockTwits is a really cool tool for you guys because they keep track of all the regular stocks as well as crypto now. So yeah, I've loved StockTwits is really good because you get a lot of real like I lived on StockTwits when I was messing with regular stocks and kind of like day trading a little bit, swing trading, because you get a lot of day traders and you learn a lot of lingo like reading StockTwits. And that's honestly, this was my first real big exposure to trading in general a few years ago. And just kind of learning the lingo, what these guys do, watching their charts, and it's pretty slick. I like StockTwits a lot. And you can use it for everything, stocks and crypto. So check it out if you haven't already. Medical chain. I've heard of medical chain, and I think that looks pretty good. Faceter. I don't know what that is. Crypto Queen. What's up, Crypto Queen? Well, good on you. You're one of the lucky ones. I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed later this week. What do you think of EDO? I don't know. About full no joke. The Patronus Onum. Membership is about full, no joke. I joined because I believe in Jason. I'm excited for the future. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I have not hard capped it yet, but I am. I figure it'll probably have to be capped tonight. Do I think Cardano will burn coins eventually? Honestly, I do not know, but I don't think it's necessary for them to do that. It'd be great if they did. Crow Connect, it's got to be done. No, it does not. I am not about that high yield bullshit. I even created a one sheet tonight for like ICOs because I get so many of these high yield platforms trying to throw money at me to review them, and I'm like, no, there's no way in hell. Like, I don't give a shit what your budget is. I'm not pushing people onto that garbage. But I don't think Cardano is going to burn coins. I don't think so. I mean, they have a fraction of what Stellar Lumens has. I mean, if you saw my comparison last night, I mean, Cardano really doesn't have to do that. It would be great if they did, though, and I think it would probably grow quite a bit faster. But you also have to understand that they're going to be implementing their proof of stake system here probably in March. You got to buy that house you posted. Oh, Jeremy, what's up, man? I'm not kidding about that house. I want that house. So it's absolutely amazing. It's a villa. For those of you that don't know, Jeremy's actually a Facebook friend and an early adopter of my services. And so yeah, that's what he's talking about. I found this house today in Arizona, and may very well be going to look at it when I go talk at this blockchain conference next month. So it's pretty badass. It looks like a freaking drug lord's villa, but it would be my forever home. So we'll see. Hey, dude, been watching your videos since November. Man, so you've been on since the beginning. I haven't been able to catch you live. Can you give me your thoughts on Substratum? Keep up the good work. I love Substratum. I own a lot of it. Yeah, Substratum's going to be pretty good. I'll probably go into it at some point in another video. I'll do like why I bought, Substratum. I'll probably go into that. There's just been other stuff that I've been wanting to dig into. That house is sick. It really is sick. Well, my wife's been talking about building a house for a couple years. Like, we want to build and design our forever home. And then I saw that one, and I'm like, I don't think we've got to build. But I mean, it's going to be at least a year, I would say, until I can afford that house. Honestly, I got to make a bunch of people rich before I can afford to buy that house. Because if I make everybody else rich, I'm going to be rich too. So I got to put in the work first. Hey, Crow, been with you since 15K subs. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Arc Block looked good. I liked Arc Block. I just haven't talked much about it. Why Arizona? LOL. Of all the places when you get rich, why Arizona? Well, A, because it's nice year round. I don't think they have earthquakes. I think Arizona's thing is bugs and humidity. 47 coin is going to be listed on Binance and also has a pretty good team. But the ICO I'm waiting on is Referium. Have you checked that one out? No, I have not. Referium. Scottsdale. What's up, Evan? I thought Arizona looked beautiful. And what I know of Arizona, it sounds great. So I'm looking forward. We're going to actually be in Arizona for like 4 days next month. So I'm going to do the blockchain conference. I'm going to talk there. And then we're just going to party it up in Arizona for like 4 days. So we'll get a good idea. I might even have to schedule a showing for that house just to get an idea. All Doug Polk does is rip into other YouTubers because he can't think of anything original himself. I personally, the dude's already rich as shit, isn't he? I mean, the guy's like a poker shark. So far, I haven't really seen anything too damaging or hurtful that Doug's done. I think he's kind of funny, personally. And I don't have any problems with what he's doing. I will say though, you know what? And this is probably, hopefully this isn't I don't get a lot of backlash for this, but I'm going to be real honest with everybody. Like, I have seen so many videos come crashing down hard on Trevon James, Crypto Nick, that Craig guy, and, you know, class action lawsuit, really? Like, that's dumbfounding to me. Here's the thing, you know, everybody knows that the crypto space is volatile as hell. Everybody knows that the crypto space has been like the wild, wild west for a long time. Prior to the SEC stepping in, and even with the SEC involved, it's still a little hairy, right? Anybody who's running around basically saying, oh, I lost my life savings with BitConnect and it's Trevon James' fault or Crypto Nick's fault. Like, personally, I like Trevon James. I do. I mean, I like his personality. I mean, he's a super chill guy, and he's a very intelligent guy. Don't let him fool you. And, you know, I still learn from Trevon James. Like, I learn everything I learn about Steam from Trevon James. Like, if Trevon James just put together like a really awesome series of videos on how to get into Steam, how everything works, because he's always talking about random shit about Steam and DTube and Steam power and this and that, and it's like I think it's great. I think it's hugely successful, and it's growing and getting bigger and bigger, but I still don't really understand all the fundamentals of the whole system. If he focused on that for like a week, I'd love him. Here's the thing, man. Like, nobody made anybody buy BitConnect. Nobody. People bought BitConnect out of sheer greed. Not and you know, some people they may have bought into it, you know, thinking, oh wow, I can make 1% a day and this makes sense and this is legit. But everybody has been saying that it's been a scam from the very beginning, and it's not. It hasn't been a big secret that BitConnect has been like. I bought and I put $300 into BitConnect knowing it was a Ponzi, knowing it was a bullshit scam. The only question in sites like that or systems like that is how long will it last, and you're rolling the dice on whether or not you will profit before it comes crashing down. Will you get your money out before it comes crashing down? And that's the whole thing. The system itself was fueled by the greed of the people investing into it. Rather than take your gains and leaving with profit, you're constantly reinvesting. I'm going to get to $1 million off of my $100. I'm going to get, you know, and it's that mentality that kept everybody in until the end, and everybody lost. And I don't think that Trevon James is to blame. I don't think even Crypto Nick is to blame. These guys told everybody about it. It was everybody else's decision as to whether or not to buy in. And that's it. I don't think that these guys necessarily did anything wrong or illegal or deserving of a class action lawsuit. They did what any single one of these other people would have done had they been given the opportunity early on. And if they had the means to do the same thing that these guys did, they would have. And that's just my own opinion. I mean, don't hate me too much. I just feel that, you know, if you walk into a pit full of snakes and expect not to get bitten, who's the fool and whose fault is it? Is it the snake's fault or is it your fault? I mean, it is what it is, folks. I just don't. Every time I hear, oh, I know, Izzy Logan, I agree with you. I'm tired of hearing about it too, but I don't like blame being falsely placed on the people. Like, you know, are they somewhat responsible? I think that they are responsible to the extent that I would encourage them to find new, more legitimate ways to teach people to make money in crypto. I feel that they have a responsibility to their viewership to do that, to help them get money back that they may have lost, not associated with a high yield program. That's how responsible I feel they are. Everybody, you know, we're all adults. We all make our own decisions. If I go, which I did, I saw some of Trevon James videos about BitConnect, and I thought, oh, well, that's an obvious scam, but I'll throw a little money in just to see like what I get out of it before it falls apart. That is exactly what I thought. and I knew where I was putting my money. I knew, you know, if I am such a fool that I blindly throw my money into a Ponzi like that, it's not the person's fault that told me about it. It's my fault for diving in head first. And that's just the way I look at it. Yeah, Doug Polk was talking about me. He was making fun of me because I'm a big ogre on YouTube. No, he was making fun of that video that I did about turning $1,000 into $1 million or something. And basically, he made a clickbait video by making fun of other people's clickbait videos. That's what the whole thing was. It was. I thought it was hilarious. Really, I got a big kick out of it. It wasn't a big deal. All right. Good morning. It's good evening over here. It's 11:44. They did manipulate the greed in people to make money. However, they didn't force anyone to do anything. You're right. I mean, I can't argue with you there. Put my thinking cap on. I mean, it's too late for a thinking cap. That's why I'm here live, just shooting the shit. Yeah, this Davor coin, I don't even know much about it. I just know apparently it's another Ponzi. Now I will say this. I did see something about Trevon James promoting this Davor coin, which apparently is another high yield platform. Now, this is a two-sided coin here. The first time, I feel like everybody kind of knows, like this is probably a scam, but there's enough plausibility that maybe it's a self-sustaining kind of system because it's based off of the Bitcoin and its growth and so forth and so on. And maybe there's a chance it's all legitimate. Maybe it's not a Ponzi. Maybe. Like the whole thing, if it's good enough for a court to say, well, is it beyond a reasonable doubt? You know, to me, even though I knew in my heart that it was likely a Ponzi, I mean, the rewards were too good. The crypto space is still so relatively new on a grand scale, and we see the amount of gains that we can get. I got to calm down because my head is starting to throb. We see the kind of gains that people can get in cryptocurrency literally overnight in some cases, you know, over the week, over a month. I mean, you know, to turn $3,000 into $100,000 in a few months. I mean, it's possible, right? Like I've done it personally. So I see, okay, maybe this is possible. All right. But when that goes belly up and then you turn around and say, well, here's another one. It's twofold. A, you're a double idiot. Okay. Or I shouldn't say double idiot. You are a confirmed moron if you then turn around and throw money into another Ponzi scheme, okay, expecting, like, I got to get my money back. Whatever. You deserve to lose it all because it's like, you know, what survival of the fittest. Like, if you're a certified moron if you just turn right around and throw money into another Ponzi expecting a return. But then at that point, if you're promoting another Ponzi-esque high-yield platform, after profiting so greatly from another one, then at that point I hold you liable. Like, just shut up. Just shut up about it. Move on to something else. At that point, you're letting greed take over your own conscience. And that is something that I have a huge disagreement with. Like, I will likely be unsubscribing to Trevon James here very soon because of that. Like, at that point, it's like, I don't trust anything you say at this point. Like, even though I've been learning about Steam, like, that is a good point because I forgot I did see something. I'm going to go back and look. If he is in fact promoting another high yield platform, I'm done with Trevon James. All right. What price do you think Cardano will be in 5 years? Okay. Honest to God, like realistic, hardcore price prediction for Cardano in 5 years. Absolutely, hands down, guaranteed. I'm starting to get a really throbbing headache. that I sub everybody. Like, I sub everybody with a following on YouTube for the most part. Has nothing to do with anything other than they've got a lot of followers and my curiosity is piqued. That's pretty much it. Thoughts on Nano Ledger? I do not own one personally, but from what I gather, they're fantastic. And you can store just about anything on them now. You follow Trevon makes you a CAD WTF. I don't even know what that means. Did I miss that price, Jason, on Cardano? What, you didn't hear me? I gave it to you very clearly what my prediction was. Something is wrong with your mic. Oh, man. What happened to my mic? Was it when I was talking about the Cardano price? We Power looks powerful. Vest I'm waiting on. Tailcoin to the moon. So, my mic didn't cut out. I was messing with you guys. I hit the mute button and acted like I was talking. 88 price prediction. Hello, people. Oh goodness, that was funny. I can't believe I got you guys with that. You didn't see me reach over here. I guess you didn't. You know your mic was off and on. So, okay, like if I were to really put Cardano into perspective, I mean, looking at Neo right now for as long as it's been out, and what I really should be doing is trying to compare Neo and its growth over the past year. Honestly, realistically, no bullshit at all. No marketing, no hype, no like Cardano is the best coin. I realistically can see Cardano getting to, honestly, 50 to 75 bucks maybe in 2018. In 5 years, it's stupid. I mean, in 5 years, that's what. To try and say where's Cardano going to be in 5 years in the cryptocurrency space is like 1 year is like 50 light years in the rest of the world in crypto. So Cardano $100 in 5 years, absolutely, like no question whatsoever. But I really think that Cardano is going to hit $100 much sooner than that. If it's not closing in on $100 by the end of 2018, I'll be surprised. And I know people keep telling me about the market cap and it needs this and it needs that, and that's so impossible. Guys, look at, you know what? Just to put things into perspective, if you were to let's just say for a second that cryptocurrency is absolutely a pyramid, okay? And it originally started with Bitcoin. If you look at the market cap right now, and I've gone through this before, but just December 10th of 2016, let's just look at, we are January, okay, so January 30th. Yeah. January 30th, exactly a year ago, the market cap was $17 billion. It is $580 billion in 1 year. And that market cap has grown so exponentially over the course of 1 year. And now we're in a year where the regulations are coming into play, where laws are coming into play. Everything is starting, the true foundation for the space as a whole is finally appearing. The mainstream market is finally starting to take notice of cryptocurrency. They're putting their feet in the pond to see how warm the water is. They're feeling things out. They're learning. They're getting comfortable. They're joining Udemy courses. They're making investments. They're just starting to get their feet wet. Literally over the past month and a half. So if you look at the market cap at $17 billion a year ago, and you see that we're at $558 billion, and you mean to tell me that Cardano, being a superior cryptocurrency on pretty much every level, with everything planned and everything that it currently is, and as people get wiser and more people learn about the technology and Cardano continues to grow into its space, establishing itself, launching its proof of stake, launching all of these additional services and dApps and this and this and that and another thing, you don't think that Cardano can't grow to $50 to $100 by the end of 2018? I beg to differ. I don't care what the hell you people say with all this market cap bullshit. You obviously haven't paid any attention to the growth over the past year alone. And that's just me. Call me crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Say whatever you want. But if I were to look at you and tell you that Bitcoin was going to go from $750 to $20,000 a coin in a year, you'd have said I was freaking crazy then too. It's cryptocurrency, people. There is no real rhyme or reason to what's going on outside of the speculation of particular coins and the number of people putting new money into them and holding. That is what creates the value in this space. And the more Cardano accomplishes over the coming year, and the more people are using it, and the more of a community it continues to build, it is going to continue to grow. And if Cardano decides, you know what, if we just burned some coins, our value could double overnight. Maybe they will. These are the variables to whether or not we can get to $100 over the course of a year that matter. Will Cardano hit $100 by the end of 2018? Probably not. By 2019, I would put anything on it. That's how I feel. But it's not to say that it can't happen. So there's my rant for Cardano. I'm up to 20,000 Cardano, by the way. It's a great project, but it's still a white paper. It's not just a white paper. I've got a wallet with 20,000 Cardano sitting on it. I mean, it's a project that's continuing to be worked on, but look at their roadmap. I was reading through their shit the other night. They've got so much going on with this coin and so many people involved in it. I mean, all you got to do is read their, I got 50,000 Cardano, whatever, rub it in. I'm just kidding. He needs to get in the octagon. I can't do that anymore. I'm too old. Crow, I haven't heard much about TNT, and they have great partnerships. Microsoft, Philips, any thoughts? Nope. Don't even know what the hell TNT is, to be honest with you. Look, I focus on very specific things, and I do not have the time to look at 1,000, 1,500 different coins all day. I just don't. I go with what grabs my attention and what makes sense. The crypto space doesn't function on traditional math. You need that Common Core shit to understand it. I don't know anything about Common Core, so that's the thing. I don't really think it's a math issue at all. I think it's a... I'm not even going to get started again. I'll get into it in another video. Apparently the way I look at cryptocurrencies and the way a lot of other people look at cryptocurrencies are very different. And look, I'm an empath, okay? Like when I was a kid, an empath, like you guys, obviously, if you've been watching me for a while, you guys know how emotional I am. I feel everything, good, bad, or ugly, okay? And when I was a kid, and this is actually, you know what? I'll get a little crazy on you guys. I'll show you guys how like much of a tinfoil hat I have. When I was a kid, I remember I would date girls. I mean, I was a teenager, and I'd have a girlfriend. And okay, let me go back a little bit. So my mom used to have psychic dreams a lot. Okay, like she would have a dream and then it would happen 2 weeks later, and she did that when it was like she was pretty consistent with it. Plane crashes, accidents, celebrity deaths, just different stuff. Like, but she would have a dream about it, and then 2 weeks later it happened. And when I was a kid, I was a very, it wasn't like I was psychic or anything, but like, I remember one time in particular, I don't even remember how old I was, 14, maybe 15. And I remember talking to this girl. She was like my girlfriend at the time. And I remember telling her, I'd never been to her room. I had no idea what, like, I didn't know, like, I had no clue what the hell I was really talking about. But somehow I described her bedroom, what her bed and everything looked like just from a thought in my head. Like specific stuff, not like, oh, you have a pink room, like, you know, oh, you're such a girly girl. It wasn't like that. It was very specific. Like, you have this pillow over here on the right side of your bed. Oh my God, where are you? That kind of shit. But growing up, I was always I was an empath. Like, somebody would be upset or feeling something next to me, and then I would uncontrollably cry. Like, somebody could be, like, whatever was going on around me, I felt it, like, to the core of me, like, in an uncontrollable kind of way. And as I've gotten older and I've diluted all this with the fluoride in my water, no, I'm partially kidding. I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm not as in tune as I once was as a child, but I was a very emotional kid for a lot of those reasons. I just felt everything going on around me. And I'm still like that to a certain extent. And I feel like I am not a number cruncher. Like, if you look at some people breaking down ICOs and they get on all the stats and the numbers and the this and the that, look, I read that stuff and I take it in. But I could not tell you specifically what all those numbers were. You know what I mean? And I don't typically break things down by the numbers, because to me, numbers are a science. Mathematics, all that stuff. I used to be a wizard at mathematics when I was really young. Like, me and this kid Pedro from Greece were like we were the top two, like, math kids in my class when I was real little, when I was real young. You know, crank out 100 math problems in a minute or less, like boom, 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 boom. Like, you know, I loved math when I was a kid, but that's not how my brain works today. My brain works on a different level, and I take in everything. I look at a much grander picture than just the numbers that I see before me. Like, just the way I do things is different. But my track record, like, I look at what other people say, I look at what other people think, and I get their perception of things, and then I go through and I read and I cross-reference that to the opinions of others and the public, and then I bring it all together. And it's a yay or nay for me. You know what I mean? It's you know, I'm in or I'm out. I'm a high D. I don't like, there's typically no middle ground for me. You know, with anything or anybody. I either like you, I don't like you. You're either in or you're out. You're in my life, you're not in my life. Everything is very binary in that sense. And that's it. That's just kind of, I don't even know what the hell got me on that tangent, to be honest. Does your psychic ability flow into your own picks? Honestly, I don't think I'm psychic at all. I don't. I just think that you know, maybe when I was a kid, I had some of that. I do think that's the case, because I have stories that make you guys think I was absolutely nuts. Shit that happened when I was a kid, and I'm not even kidding. You know, it'd probably make for a great show, but I'm not gonna probably ever get into that stuff. But I went through a phase where I was very curious about that stuff and what was possible with it. Let's just say that, and I got scared real quick. Co-vesting thoughts. I like co-vesting. I own it. I bought some. I haven't done any videos on it or anything. But co-vesting doesn't really, it's not going to help anybody with ICOs or anything really. And I am curious about co-vesting in the sense that how are you going to handle people copy trading securities with no license? LOL, no one cares about numbers value. Value is based simply on opinion. I mean, in a nutshell, it kind of is, but the numbers reflect that opinion. I'm just not a numbers person in that sense. Damn it. I wish I could scroll down little bits and pieces. Speaking of psychic, here's a connection to consider. Are you a Pisces? I'm the same way. No, actually, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. I'm November 22nd. I just turned 40. I'm an old bastard. My wife actually is going to have to dye this again here pretty soon because the grays are really starting to shine. Pretty soon you won't be able to tell my beard from this microphone. Damn, Mr. Tony 19. He's a Scorpio. You guys are learning me. I got to be careful. You guys are like steel traps. Crow, do you see the market recovering big time next month? I do. Maybe not necessarily big time, but I could see us probably getting back to a $15,000 Bitcoin in February. Just be alpha and control your emotions. Girls will like you even more. That is bullshit. Tell you right now, my wife married me for 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm the most honest son of a bitch she's ever met. Good, bad, or ugly, I give it to you straight, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, fuck off. Number 2, because I'm not afraid to cry. And that is a fact. I'm not. Who are you to tell me, or anybody to tell me that I'm not a man because I shed a tear? If anything, the fact that I'm in tune with my emotions and who I am and I don't feel obligated to present a fake or false mask to you makes me unique in that sense as a man. I'm as strong, tough, rough, and crazy as any other son of a bitch out there, and I don't have to hide the fact that I have emotions to look cool. And to be honest with you, I tell all the kids, you know, look, I was raised by Catholic women, okay? My father, you know, I'd never met him. You know, I was raised by a bunch of Catholic women who always told me, you know, share your emotions. Don't bottle it up. I was an angry kid. Like, I grew up without a dad. I was an angry kid. And, you know, emotions were a big problem for me, like, you know, for better or for worse. And I had to learn just to not bottle that stuff up. All right, so wow, we're over an hour. And the thing about these live videos is because I ramble and I talk about so much different stuff, and they're not super educational, and I don't feel like they get a lot of views, but I do like just kind of hanging out sometimes and just talking and looking at you guys' comments and chatting and all that. So hopefully you guys have some fun with these. I know they're not insanely informative, but it's a good time, and I just felt like kind of hanging out because I've been in damn near a headache coma all day. LOL, I was raised the same way. Take care, bro. I'm out. Thanks for the info. Cool. Thanks, Jason. Hanging is fun. Yeah, hanging is fun. And I will tell you something I've been doing lately is taking breaks playing Monster Hunter World. I just picked that up. It's actually pretty sweet. And I got one of those... the Nintendo Switch. That thing is huge. I mean, I hold it up, but it's like this big. I'm like playing like a big screen TV. So for me, it probably looks like a Game Boy because my hands are pretty monstrous. But the graphics on that thing is ridiculous. I got Skyrim and Xenoblade 2. I basically got them for the plane trip to Arizona. It's so funny, like looking at myself on the delay here. Let's see. Oh, you are awesome, Crow. Thank you, Ronald. Yes, which is fun. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a little awkward, like it's a little bit awkward. I just got to get used to it. Thanks, David. I honestly, I like to think I'm pretty real. You know, nothing's perfect, and you know what? I'm going to tell you, this is going to sound like I'm pandering, but it's the honest truth. When I was a kid, I used to lie about all kinds of shit. Like when I say kid, I mean like 8, 9 years old. Like I knew when it was time to come in. You know, my mom would yell, Jason, yelling out of the neighborhood for me to come in. And I got so tired of lying because I'd come in late and I'd act like I didn't hear her. And she'd be like, I know you had to heard me. I was yelling loud as hell. I know you heard me. No, I didn't hear you, Mom. So anytime I knew, for like a while I did this. It's no bullshit. My mom would start yelling, and I would hear her, and I'd hurry up, and I'd run, and I'd hide, and I'd cover my ears so that I couldn't hear her yelling my name. So when I told her I didn't hear her, it was kind of half true. And I just found early on, like when I was young, man, like I remember I tried stealing once because I lived in Canton, Ohio. And Canton apparently is like a drug lane now. I saw my first armed robbery when I was 8 or 9, like right across the street. I used to live a mile down the road from the McKinley Monument. So I used to go swimming at the natatorium. So like on Saturdays for $4, you'd go swimming for $1. And and there was a little convenience shop right across the street. And I was in there one day, and like these guys walked in and basically stole pizza and beer and pulled out a gun and said, "You're not doing shit about it." And they walked off, and it was like crazy. And I was standing right there when it all went down. And you know, it was just a bad neighborhood, like really bad neighborhood overall. And I still remember that address too, because so much crazy shit happened to me when I lived there. And there's a dude named Jeff Calhoun that if I ever see you, I'm gonna break every bone in your body. And that's a promise. This dude, he was like in his mid-20s, man, used to torture me, locked me in a shed for 8 hours. You know, like I was 8, 9 years old. This dude just tortured me until my Uncle Mike, who recently passed 1.5 years ago, he had just came home from the Navy. You know what? Here's a story. This has nothing to do with crypto, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You can just leave if you don't like it. So this dude used to torture me, and my Uncle Mike didn't even know. My Uncle Mike was 6'10". I'm the tallest in the family at 7 foot. My Uncle Mike is 6'10". Shortest guy in my family, 6'6". So my Uncle Mike, he's visiting my mom and I from the Navy. And he used to work on aircraft carriers, fixing helicopters and such. And Jeff shows up at the front door, and he's yelling, "Gene, get these damn garbage cans off the side of the house," right? Just yelling at my mom. And my Uncle Mike, he had no idea my Uncle Mike was there. And this is a guy who, he had smacked me in my mouth on several occasions just for no real reason at all, locked me in a shed. My mom bought my first bicycle from an auction, $55, sold her grocery money, used our grocery money to get me my first bike. And this son of a bitch, because I had left it sitting on the side of the house, took my bike across the street next to the convenience store I saw my first robbery, slammed it 10 times up against the brick wall and stomped the shit out of it. This is the kind of SOB I'm talking about. So anyway, he's yelling at my mom about these garbage cans on the side of the house. My Uncle Mike stands up, walks to the front door and says, "Who the hell are you yelling at? Don't you dare talk to my sister that way." Then proceeds to kick open the door and beat the shit out of this Jeff, to the point where Jeff takes off running up to the second floor. I remember this like it was yesterday, people. Takes off running to the second floor where his apartment was with his girlfriend and son, who I used to play with. His son was cool. Starts throwing appliances down the stairs at my uncle. I'm standing outside at this point. My uncle's standing at the landing on the way up to chase this guy into his house. He threw a microwave oven. My uncle caught it, tossed it out. Threw a toaster oven, caught it, threw it out. Threw all kinds of shit. Was throwing like everything in this guy's house down at the stairs at my uncle. My uncle catch it, throw it out the door. And finally, I think he just stopped throwing stuff, and my uncle came back in. So anyway, yeah, that was my neighborhood. I don't even remember what got me on that, but man, good old days. My uncle was a hero, and my Uncle Mike was a badass. My Uncle Mike was the guy who tried to be like a father figure to me. And he actually had an expanding aortic valve. Like this is a guy who, you know, he taught me about solid state electronics when I was a kid, man. You know, like when he was in avionics school, was teaching me how to solder and teaching me how to read ohms resistance. And, you know, like when I was real young, and that's a part of like my junk box and stuff like that I used to talk about in other videos. And he actually just died like pretty suddenly. Like my uncles have been, for 10 years, my uncles have been trying to get me to go on a big camping trip with them. This is going to be rough. But for 10 years, they've been trying to get me to go, and I've always been so busy. I'm not a camper. I don't like camping. I like my electronics. I'm a tech guy. I don't like woods and shitting and leaves and stuff like that. So anyway, for 10 years, man, they've been trying to get me to go, and finally, last year, I said, you know what, I'm going to go. I thought it'd be a great opportunity for my stepson and I to like bond more and go do something together, and he can meet all my uncles. Like it's like, seriously, all my uncles and my cousins, if we were to go to an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, they'd probably kick us out and close us down and like threaten like martial arts on our asses because they'd be afraid we would eat everything in there. But anyway, my uncle, he's the one that got me into stocks and dividends, and like, you know, like I had dabbled and like messed around with stuff, but I didn't do a lot of stuff with dividend stocks. And, you know, he was telling me about how much money he was making and how, like, if he were to die today, like this, you know, my aunt would be set for life and so forth and so on. And it was the last time I saw my uncle, because it wasn't a month or two after that. Now, here's the thing. My uncle told me flat out, like, I could die at any minute. He had an aortic valve problem that the doctors just said, oh, and this is something about China, too, now that I'm thinking about it. So the doctors told my uncle that they wanted to do surgery, but it wasn't bad enough yet to risk such a dangerous surgery, that they were going to wait probably another year. So then my uncle and my aunt decide they want to go to China on vacation. My uncle asked the doctor, is it okay if I fly to China? Absolutely. They fly to China. My uncle dies at dinner. Just boom. Everybody said he was acting a little funny for about 20 minutes and just fell over. That Chinese government tried to not blackmail, extort my family for $20,000 cash, or they were not going to let him, they were not going to give his body back to us. That's no bullshit. So my uncle was in charge of like a fleet of jets at this point for Continental, and whoever the president, whoever the big wig at Continental, basically made arrangements with, like, I don't know, military. I don't know what the hell it was. Whatever way they went about it, he helped get my uncle back from China. So anyway, enough personal stories. I know you guys got to be bored by this point. Yeah, it was rough, man. I don't think I've ever broken down like I did hearing about my uncle, and knowing that, like, after 10 years that I had not gone to this camping trip with them, finally the 1 year I go, not realize, and just all the wisdom, everything that he taught me just during that trip, and how excited everybody was that I finally showed up and I went. And yeah, for that to be the last time I saw him, man, it was absolutely crazy. But he was not lying. My aunt does not ever have to work again. Like, he had a lot more money that he had been saving, knowing. And, you know, this is one of the reasons I think I took to crypto so much, to be real honest with you. You know, my uncle knew that he didn't have long. Like, he flat out told me, like, my heart is a ticking time bomb that can just blow up at any second. And there's nothing anybody can do about it right now. And he did everything he could to structure their finances. So when that day came, my aunt, my cousins, they didn't have to worry about anything. And she doesn't. And so that was just extremely powerful. And, you know, when you're as big as I am, you know, he was 52, and he had an actual problem with his heart. I don't have any problems. But his was from years and years. He's been dealing with that. So just keep that stuff in mind, guys. I'm not going anywhere. I'm good. But keep that stuff in mind when you guys are investing. Don't just worry about what you can make in a day. Don't just worry about, you know, what you can accomplish in a week. Focus on focus on your retirement. Focus on your future family. You know, I see all this shit about Lambos, and my uncle was 6'10". I see all this stuff about Lamborghinis, and, you know, I just talked to a guy. He's like, oh man, thank you so much. You know, I just bought a $2,000 watch today. And I was like, you know, you realize that most millionaires won't spend more than $50 on a watch. So save your money. Like, even if you guys do really, really well, because I do firmly believe that this is the year of the millionaire. Like, this year is probably going to create more millionaires than the .com. And I think that we're gonna find a lot of people making 7 figures through crypto and ICO investing this year. Hopefully my fund's the cause for a lot of it. You know, just hold on to your money. Like I always say, crow your coins. hold on to your money, plan wisely. Don't blow all the profits you make on stupid shit you're not going to care about in a year or two anyway. Focus on your forever home. Focus on retirement. Focus on making sure, you know, that you're set for life. Don't blow it on stuff you don't care about, you don't need, and you're not going to take with you when you're gone. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I've been yammering now for over an hour, almost an hour and a half. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. You know, maybe I'll try to do this once a week. That's it. Have a good night and crow your coins, guys. And I will be back soon. We dropped frame rates detected. Okay, so that's not too bad, hopefully. But anyway, crow your coins, guys, and I will be back very soon with some pretty big updates. Thank you and have a good night. I'm going to sleep.